Recently, I had a discussion with other YouTube user who said that Blackbox is better than Fluxbox, and I googled up a bit. I found out that there is this guy on GitHub called bbidulog who is making like a maintenance releases for Blackbox. He just gets latest Blackbox source code and applies the fixes from the Blackbox community, and also updates it so it's possible to build the source code on the latest software. But actually with the version 0.77 it requires autoconf 2.71, while most distributions provide 2.69 while I'm writing it. So I think it's not necessarily to require such a high version. The one thing is to make it up to date so you can build it on modern hardware, on modern Linux machine, and the other thing is crazy high requirements that will only be fulfilled by a rolling release distribution for a Gentoo that has really up to date stuff. So I gave it up. I went down to 0.76 that had problems. As you can see, it has missing separator in the make file in the language directory. So there is this language folder with all these language files, and the make file is having some problems in the syntax. So I gave it up as well. I went down to 0.75 from 2019, sorry, and it worked. So let's go through excuse me, what this guy actually said. He said Blackbox has BB keys. That's true, but I think the key shortcuts functionality is very basic, and I prefer it to be included within the window manager itself, and I prefer the Fluxbox way here. He said many is better. When I was moving my configuration, I had a problem because my many file used the include function to include the whole directory called includes that holds many files that they are being automatically included, of course, on Fluxbox, but on Blackbox you need to include them one by one. It's not a big deal, but I prefer the Fluxbox here and the Fluxbox way here as well. Then he said that less config files is needed in Blackbox. Maybe yes, maybe no, I don't think so, but what I like about Fluxbox here is that all the configuration files for Fluxbox fits in .fluxbox directory. While in Blackbox there are some files in .blackbox directory in your home folder, while there is this file .blackboxrc that is same as a Fluxbox init file that sits right in your home directory and not in the separate folder called .blackbox. Therefore, if you want to go back to mentioned before BB keys, so you get all the functionality that Fluxbox gives you out of the box, you have one more file called .bbkeysrc that sits in your home directory. So that gives us two dot files in your home directory with the settings and some other files in .blackbox folder. So it's like a unnecessary separation in my opinion, and I don't like that way, to be honest with you. Then he said that Blackbox lets you disable the bar without recompiling the source code. I also don't agree with him that we cannot do it with Fluxbox, because it's only necessary for you to have this line toolbar visible to false, and Fluxbox will behave like there is no toolbar. So this line is the init file of Fluxbox. So actually we are absolutely able to do it with Fluxbox without recompiling the source code. He also said that that's how he wrote it. Transparency is better. I think he meant, of course, this R is mine. Sorry. I think he meant that transparency is better, but I'm not quite sure how can one transparency be better than the other. I prefer Fluxbox. I'm not moving to Blackbox. It's up to you to make your own judgment. Thanks for watching.